Good. Okay. Thank you, White Light, for having me on your program here. Um, First of all, my name is Matthew, and I'm representing Papua New Guinea at this MSG trade meeting on labor mobility. Um, the meeting went well and with a very fruitful outcome. And some of the key discussion outcomes from the session today on that were pointed out with the implementation on the MSG labor mobility scheme. And during the meeting, some of the key points that were raised were the need to review the domestic legislation of our countries in order to move forward to progress the labor mobility or the skills movement scheme that everybody is trying to implement since the agreement or the MOU was signed in 2012. So how is Papua New Guinea tracking its legislation to facilitate this now? In PNG, we are reviewing some of our legislations to cater for this scheme. Immigration is also reviewing its migration legislation to look at this some of these laws to accommodate to implement the skills movement scheme. So far we are in our final stage of the review, and it will be presented to Cabinet hopefully by the end of the year, so that we can start moving on from there. I think our other organizations like labor, they're also coming up with their labor policy, which was also come up with some outcome to how best they can implement this review. Now, looking back at this meeting, we are yet to in order for us to move forward, there are things that we need to do back home when we go back, and that will include having a meeting with all the stakeholders to how best and what its agency is doing in terms of implementing this whole process of the skills movement scheme as it relates to labor mobility. So there's a need to look at the current legislation, which we will have to look at the how to design the forms that is being proposed for the applications of the skills movement scheme. And those are basically what we will be discussing when we go back. And but first and foremost is the need to speed up the legislative process to cater for the implementation of the MSG labor mobility. And I think that's basically what we'll be proposing when we get back to PNG.